Let me welcome you once again to this channel. So today we'll be taking up a poem written by Robert Frost, and the title of the poem is A Roadside Stand. Now, before we begin, let us understand what a roadside stand is. A roadside stand is generally a shop set up by the roadside that sells local produce, vegetables, and the likes. Now, here we see a picture of a roadside stand selling fruits. Then there is another picture we have of a roadside stand which is beside the road. These roadside shops or these roadside stands sell locally available things so as to earn some money so that they can feed their family. So, with this introduction of the title, let us begin the poem. A roadside stand. Now, I will directly continue with the explanation. The little old house was out with a little new shed. In front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. The little old house was out with a little new shed, which means that the occupants of the house had extended their house and built or had put up a new roadside stand. And where was this roadside stand built? It was in front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. It was beside the road where the traffic passed or from where the city dwellers would pass. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled, "It would not be fair to say for a dole of bread, but for some of the money, the cash whose flow supports the flower of cities from sinking and withering faint." Now, first two lines we had seen that where the roadside stand has been constructed. Now, the next line, a roadside stand that too pathetically pled, "It would not be fair to say for a dole of bread." That means it will be wrong for us. What is the purpose of setting up this roadside stand? It will be wrong on our part to say that these roadside stands were set up to gather sympathy of the city dwellers. No. The people who set up these roadside stands are not wanting any sympathy. What they are doing is they are making available the local produce so that it would not be fair to say for a dole of bread. They are not asking the city folks for their sympathy. What they are asking for is some of the money. They are wanting some money by selling the things that they have displayed in their shop, which are local produce. Now, why are they wanting money in exchange for the goods that they are selling? It is because the money or the cash whose flow supports, it is money which brings about progress and development. It is with the help of the cash which will bring about the development or by which they are planning to earn their livelihood. Now, I hope these lines are clear to you. The first two lines talks about where the roadside stand was set up, and the next four lines are talking about why, what is the reason for them to set up this roadside stand. Clearly, they also want to earn some money because they have to earn their livelihood. So with the help of these roadside stands, they would want to earn their livelihood by getting some money in exchange for the goods that they are planning to sell to the city dwellers. Now, let us come to the next line. The polished traffic passed with a mind ahead. Now, who are these polished traffic? These are the city dwellers. Now, these are the people who move around or who pass by the roadside stands in their vehicles. So the polished traffic past with the mind ahead, or if ever aside a moment, then out of sorts. Now, these city dwellers who use that road where the roadside stands are set up, they have their own business to take care of, and they move ahead, and they do not stop in these roadside stands. So that is the concern, or that is the worry that Robert Frost talks about or tries to project. Robert Frost wants these city dwellers to stop by the roadside stand and buy the things that these roadside stands are offering to sell. But unluckily, these people are lacking empathy and love and care. And that is why they do not stop by these roadside stand. And even if they stop, or even if, here again we come to the next line, or if ever aside a moment, even if somebody decides to stop by these roadside stands, then out of sorts at having the landscape marred with the artless paint of signs that with N turned wrong and S turned wrong. Now, even if somebody decides to stop by this roadside stand, then they complain about the beauty of the landscape marred, destroyed. They complain about the beauty of the landscape that has been destroyed by the roadside stands which had been set up in a very non-artistic manner. Or sometimes they also complain about the spelling mistakes that are there with N turned wrong or S turned wrong. Sometimes they say that there is a spelling mistake, and that is why they stop in that place in order to show the faults that are there in the roadside stands and not to buy the things that these roadside stands are offering to sell. So I hope these lines are clear. So let us continue. Offered for sale wild berries in wooden quads. Now, what are these roadside stand offering? Selling. These roadside stands, what are they offering to the people? These roadside stands are offering wild berries in wooden quads, in wooden containers. Quads here means containers. Let's see a picture of. Now, these are the manner in which you will find a roadside stand decorated in wooden containers. Here you can easily see. Here you can easily see the wooden containers where the fruits are placed. So these are the wooden containers here. So they are selling a variety of things. They are selling a variety of things. So what are they offering? They are offering wild berries in wooden containers. Along with wild berries, they are also offering crook-necked golden squash. There's a vegetable that they are offering. And sometimes, instead of selling things, they also offer lodging facility for the people to rest in the beautiful scenery, or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. So sometimes they are also offering lodging facilities to the people. And what is the motive of offering all these things to the city dwellers? So that they can also get some money. That is the reason. You have the money. This is the reason. They also want some money in exchange for the services or goods that they are offering to the people. But if you want to be mean, why keep your money and go along? But it seems that the city people do not care, and they are very, very mean. These city people do not care about the people who have set up the roadside stands, and they are mean and they keep their money. So that makes the roadside stand people angry, crossly angry. That is angry. Crossly means angry. So they become cross. Why? Because they are not willing. The city dwellers are not willing to spend any money in exchange for the goods and services and go along. So the poet feels very upset with the behavior of the city dwellers, and he says that the hurt to the scenery wouldn't be my complaint so much as the thirsting sorrow of what is unsaid. So he says, I am not going to complain about the beauty that has been destroyed by the unartistic manner in which the roadside stands are constructed. But he is upset because of the sorrow of the people who have set up this roadside stand. Here, far from the city, we make our roadside stand and ask for some city money to feel in hand, to try if it will not make our beings expand, and give us the life of the moving pictures promise that the party in power is said to be keeping from us. Now, what is the reason? What is the reason that they are toiling and laboring? This is the reason. This is the complete reason. They are setting up these roadside stands to ensure that they earn some money in order to live a decent living, or in order to earn a decent living by selling the goods and services that they have to offer, and to make some progress and prosper in life and reach the position which the moving pictures or which they see in movies. They want to reach that standard of living which are shown in moving pictures. So that is the only intention of setting up these roadside stands. But the city dwellers do not care about the emotions and sentiments of these roadside stand people. They do not stop by the road or by the roadside stand, and they do not buy anything from them. And that is the complaint of the roadside stand people. Now, frequently, it is in the news that all these pitiful kins are to be brought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to theaters and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. Now, frequently, it is in the news. What is in the news? That these village folks who are struggling to survive, pitiful kin, or the village folks who are struggling to survive, will be relocated and brought out from their pitiable condition and relocated near theaters and stores. They will be relocated near theaters and stores. And when they will be relocated near theaters and stores, they will not have to think about themselves anymore. They will not have to worry about themselves anymore, because they will come in close contact with the city folks, and they will also prosper and progress like the city folk. So that is there. Is it a reality? That is there in the news. But the poet knows that this is only false propaganda. The poet knows. And who are these people who keep on saying that the village folks do not have to worry and they will be relocated next to cities or next to theaters and the store, and then they will not have to think for themselves anymore? Who are these people? According to the poet, these people are greedy good doers, and also they are beneficent beasts of prey. They are greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them, comfort them. Soothe here means comfort them. So they make false promises to these people, to village folks, to the country folks, and comfort them by telling them that you will not have to worry about anything anymore. We are going to relocate you next to the theater and the store. And they try to comfort them and ask them to get peaceful sleep. But in that way, what they do? And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day, destroying their sleep at night the ancient way. And by telling them that they can sleep peacefully, instead what happens? Those people sleep peacefully and destroy the sleep of the village folks, like they are used to doing, ancient way, like they are used to doing. So I hope that this part is clear. Let us continue, or let us just recapitulate once again. So here it is in the news that these pitiful kin are to be brought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theaters and store, where they won't have to think of themselves anymore. So frequently it has been propagated in the news and all that these people will be given good opportunities. They will be relocated next to theaters and cities where they will not have to think about themselves anymore. But the poet knows the reality. The poet knows that these people, whatever they are saying, okay, are false, and they are giving false assurances and false promises to these people. So he terms them as greedy good doers. They are not good doers, they are greedy good doers. And they are beneficent beasts of prey. They are preying on whom? They are preying on these poor village folks. And that is why he has termed them greedy, good doers, and beneficent beasts of prey. These people give false assurances and try to comfort them by asking them not to worry and to go to sleep peacefully. But in that way, they themselves go to sleep peacefully and spoil the sleep of the village folks, the way they are used to doing. Now let us continue with the next line. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. Now, what is the pain? What is the pain of the city folks? Village folks. What is the pain that they are suffering from? What is the longings? What is their yearning? What is their wish? What is their childish longing? The childish longing of these, or the wishes of these people who are setting up the roadside stand, is that those city dwellers who pass by the roadside stand should stop by the roadside stand and buy things from them. In exchange, they should give them the money, so that these people also can progress. These people can also develop. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. The sadness. Whole day, the people who set up the roadside stands are waiting near the open window. For what? Almost in open prayer. They are praying whole day near the open window. In almost open prayer. For what? For the sound of brakes, or for some vehicle to stop, or the sound of a stopping car. So that is the longing. That is the childish longing of these people who have set up the roadside stand. They long for the city people to stop by their stand. So they are almost praying for a stopping car. But hardly any car stops. However, of all the 1,000 selfish cars that pass, just one to inquire what the farmer's prices are. So many cars, selfish cars pass by, thousands, Thousands of selfish cars pass by, but no car stops by those roadside stands just to inquire what the farmers' prices are. However, few do stop, but for irrelevant things. And one did stop. One car did stop. And as soon as it stopped, the people of the roadside stand become happy. Now they will be able to sell their produce. But why did that vehicle stop? But only to plow up the grass in using the yard to back and turn around. Now he stopped in order to reverse his vehicle. So he also did not go to the roadside stand to inquire about the prices of the farmer. Then there is another vehicle which stops. Then another to ask the way to where it was bound. Then another vehicle stops. But that vehicle also wants to know the direction to where it is going and is not interested in buying the produce or the things that the roadside stands are selling. And then another one also stops to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? And the other one that stops inquires about gallon of gas or petrol or diesel. It's asking for petrol or diesel from that roadside stand. They couldn't. Now, these roadside stands selling petrol and diesel? They couldn't. This Crossley, they had none. Didn't it see? Now, in spite of knowing that these roadside stands are not set up to sell petrol and diesel, somebody or some of the city dwellers do stop by the roadside stand to inquire about petrol and diesel. Now, what are the roadside stand people going to do? They had none. Didn't it see? No. In country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite lift of spirits had never been found. Or so the voice of the country seems to complain. In country, that is in the village, that in country, money, the country scale of gain. Money is the scale by which we measure the progress and development. So, this lift of spirit, requisite lift of spirit has never been found. This money is missing from the village or the country. Country means village. So, that requisite lift of spirit has never been found. Without money, there cannot be any progress. So, in this village or in village, this money is missing. Rotation of money is missing. So in country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite lift of spirit has never been found. There is no way in which these people can earn their livelihood. That is what the people of the village seems to complain. That's the voice of the country seems to complain. That is the complaint of the village folks, or in particular the people who are setting up these roadside stands. I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. So what he wants is, he wants that somebody, the poet wants that somebody should come and relieve, free these people from the pain that they are suffering from in one stroke. Now, how is it possible to remove the pain and provide them relief in one stroke? Maybe it is by their death. Only when they die, they will be relieved from the pain and suffering that they experience in the village. I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke of their pain. Now, this is a very insane idea, a mad idea that comes to the poet. He wants that somebody should come and relieve these people out of their pain in one stroke. And then, next day. Now, that is a very insane idea. It is not possible to relieve the people. And how is it possible? By their death only it can be possible. If they die, the pain will die with them. That is what maybe he seems to hint. And the next day, as I come into the scene, and that was the previous day, when he feels that somebody should come and relieve these people out of their pain. And when the next day he comes back to the sane world, he comes back to his senses, he realizes as to how he would feel if somebody would come and relieve him of the pain that he is suffering from in a similar manner. The next day, as I come back into the sane world, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. Now he realizes the mistake that he has committed. Okay? So it is a kind of remorse on his own thoughts as how he would feel if somebody tries to relieve him of the pain in a similar way. So this is the poem that we have completed. Okay, and it talks about the insensitive nature of the people or the city folks, city dwellers, who do not care about the welfare and well-being of the village folks or the people who set up the roadside stands. It is their lack of empathy, the lack of love and care. So this is Robert Frost's complaint against the city dwellers. Now, this poem also talks about the bridge that exists, the gap that exists between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, the privileged and the deprived. And he wants somehow to bridge this gap, but it is very, very difficult. So I hope that you are clear with this poem. So with that, we conclude today's poem. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next video.